when it comes down to like the type of relationship that you with, and when everyone's cool and up front, like every single woman that I hang out with, and it does go there. Like last week, we were in 2 menage a trois, and it wasn't like menage a trois. It was like, no, this girl's coming over and laying on bed, and next thing you know, things happen. But when you really know up front, because a lot of these girls, there's no struggle, and it's one of the things that I like to teach you guys is that there's no struggle when it comes to who I am and what I'm about. So the first thing, like this one right here, the way I met her, okay, is I went to this hotel where it was a friend of mine that I used to have sex with a lot, and I never met her before, and she was doing her makeup at the table, and I'm like, I basically just told her, I said, hey, I don't know who you are, but I don't mind if, hope you don't mind that I'm going to have sex with your friend in front of you. You know, and she was like, oh, she was putting on her makeup, pretending not to look. We don't care. Yeah. Or things like this. We try to, yeah. But the point, the point that I want to make, and it was funny because then I went out with her that night and ended up having sex with her that night too. But it's one of these things where when you're up front about it and you're like, this is who I am as a man. This is who I am. This is the relationships that I live. Like, I don't even fuck around with like monogamous women. If I'm like, you're monogamous, don't even want to get involved. So
the thing about it is I didn't even know he was married until I got in his car, and I was like, what? This is a setup? Oh my God. I was like, kind of like, what the fuck? But I was kind of like, okay, she knows about it. Okay, this is okay. Now I'm wanting to know more. Yeah. And then the next thing I know is like I'm being more involved with him in his life and his home. So, and then I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at polyamorous. I'm like, oh, I could be the person that I could fuck whoever I want to on the side too. But that wasn't it. I was kind of like more here. It's every I guess polyamorous relationship is different. I guess what they want and what they don't want in a relationship.
But the point, because I know a lot of you guys are into this, is the first question I ask is if I'm talking to a person, I'm not like going down the list like, are you this? It's just like, I'm into a polyamorous lifestyle. I only pretty much date bisexual, bi-curious women, because if you're not into that, then there's no reason for me to pursue a relationship like that. Because if I know that all these girls love girls, which they all do, then it makes it a lot easier for us. It's normal if I bring around because I'm pretty much the one that brings the other girls in. I'm basically like, she's cool, and instantly they get together and they're like, oh, hey, I'm so and so, I'm so and so, and next thing you know, like they just met for the first time tonight. So I want you guys to, just like I said, understand that it can exist, and it can exist very harmoniously. Sometimes we had another girl that just got kicked out the other day because she was starting to play a little stupid drama games, and just cut her loose. Just said, hey, you're like, this is like high school shit. You're stirring shit up and things like this. So like I said, I want you guys just to have these understandings here. So
it's like you have to be strong in this. You can't be. Everybody's a team here. It's not a competition. You're in a competition with yourself if you can really handle this lifestyle or not. It's not like, if you're wanting one person to give all the attention, this is not the lifestyle. It's like I want. It's like it's kind of like a union. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Yeah, it's like we're all friends. There's none of those jealous emotions, like envy or like talking crap about each other. Like, that's the good thing about this. Like, we are all similar and we're all friends and we accept each other. Like, yeah, so what? Like, I want to fuck his wife, and I'm probably going to. No,
and I'm gonna watch.
Exactly.
For the ladies, all right, here you go. Was there a time in your life that you only wanted monogamy but decided to try open relationships with a guy? What qualities did this man have that made you say yes?
Okay, well, in my opinion, there was never a discussion. Like, when you start dating someone, it's not like, hey, by the way, unless it's like, oh, you guys start dating and it is a monogamous relationship. Usually you guys are just talking, and when you guys are just talking, there is no expectations. That's what everyone has in relationships, are expectations. So when you are in a relationship and you guys start dating, that's when the expectations come into play. Like, hey, so I want you to only be having sex with me. That conversation usually comes into play. If you really like the person good enough, then you will say, yeah, like, you know what, sounds right for me and I'm ready to do that. But if not, then you just keep it talking. And a girl can be talking to two guys. Don't get offended. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not giving her all the needs that she wants. But if you guys are completely open with each other, then that's what completely matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, let's just decide to be polyamorous. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I haven't had a relationship that's been polyamorous, so it was just like, oh, let's just all, have an orgy. No, it didn't work like that. But it was in a point where we both wanted the same thing. We both wanted to be, free birds, and we both slept with whoever we wanted, and then there's all the conversations about protection and stuff like that.
It's more, how do I deal with being in and living in this lifestyle? For me, they always ask, how can he do it? And he's married. And I said, of course, he's married. I mean, and she knows about it. I've lived in the house with him before. So, and yes, it gets weird. And you kind of go into like more detail, like, she knows about it. It's not like we have this fat orgy, or it's, and it's not like that. It's kind of like we're all a team. So it's people wonder and ask, like, they kind of like look at me all crazy, like, you are crazy, and people are so used to being with one person. And if they're not, I mean, they're lying to themselves about not wanting to be in this lifestyle. I mean, if you can't keep your dick in your pants or your vagina or your legs shut, and you're sleeping around with a bunch of people and you're married or you're not, and you're not even open about it, then
look there, that's the
you're lying to yourself. Like you, so it's okay. It's more open these days to live in this lifestyle. Don't be ashamed of it. There's actually people like us all around the world. I mean, if people like this back in the day could do it, like in the Greek goddess times, then why can't we do it now? It's more open to it.
Just remember, with him, he does have love for all of us in this cuckoo crew. He doesn't believe in monogamy, so he does treat us like a nice, respectful man will treat us.
But I want to say, I'm not always fucking nice.
Oh no, he is so honest, brutally honest. But he does it for your own good. And he's hooking up with my sister, so me and him are just really good friends, but you know what I mean? But still, this is my really good friend.
And also think about this. Like, I want to blow your guys' minds a little bit. Like, I sleep with her sister too, all right? But she sleeps in my bed with me as well. Like, she'll, without her sister.
Yeah, and I'll cuddle with them. And she doesn't care. I'll be in my bra and underwear because I'll go practice on this pole, because I like to, pole. I practice on this pole, and you'll see me in my bra and underwear, you'll see me in my G-string, and I'll go sleep in the bed with them. It's not a big deal. We don't care. You know what I mean? It just hasn't happened yet. So I'm not going to say whatever.
You hear that yet?
Nah. But you see what I mean? I'm just working on McGlenna first because I like women more. So I'm definitely going for his wife. You know what I mean? More.
And which comes back to if you're in a kind of this kind of way of who you are and what you want, think about how easy it is. Like, I don't want to, me personally, if you're a busy guy and you got shit going on, like, I don't want to really spend all my time with you because I got other shit going on. So one of the nice things about this is, like, if I'm going to work, and she's like, oh, I want to go, because I'm not the guy that's going to go take you on a little hike and go walking and shit like this.
That's boring.
Stuff like that. But if she wants to go to the beach, and they're like, she wants to go to the beach and she wants to go to a rave or go out dancing,
we just plan something out together, and it just motivates us.
And then usually by that time, then I'm looking at myself going, dude, you're being a lazy fuck. Like, all the girls are getting ready, suck it up, let's go. You go out and have fun with them. So I want to expand your minds on what it is, because there's not a lot of information out there on this kind of like relationship. That's why I want to have this conversation.